Welcome to On the Mat today. Today we're going to look at staff pose. Staff pose represents alignment and power. It works basically in the spine. So when we look at the spine, both in the physical and the subtle body of our alignment and our power and our self-worth, the mantra for this pose is, when aligned with my authentic self, I stand in my power. And so today we're going to look at how we can empower ourselves, because for a lot of people, they're not in touch with their true self because their self-worth is tied to what other people think about them. So what we need to do today is, with both mantra and a mini meditation, we're going to try to shed that fear of criticism or judgment or anything that takes us out of aligning with our true self and with our power. So let's look at the main part of this pose, and then we'll get to mat support. We'll get to 2 different restorative poses, and then we'll get to the mantra and meditation and a journal exercise. So we have a lot going today. So when we look at the seated version of this pose, the counter indications are like shoulders and back, or if you have trouble finding a seated position on the floor, it can be done again on a couch. It can be done in bed. That's why I'll give you 2 different restorative poses, because if you're in bed and you don't have the wall behind you, then you might need to use a bolster. Okay, so let's look at this full pose, how we get into it. So I'm going to turn to the side once again so you can see this pose more easily. So when we sit down, we want to walk sit bones just like this, getting in and grounded into our seated position. The legs you want to be about hip width apart. We're going to align that back so it's nice up and tall, making sure we have plenty of room for the rib cage and for breath. Shoulders are rolled back. And we're going to just, for the moment, keep our hands down to our sides. Again, make sure that that chin is kind of like pulled back and tucked in so that it's parallel with the mat. And as we do this, we're going to look at the feet. We are going to flex the feet, again, hip distance apart. And then we're going to start to engage. So by engaging the knees, it kind of feels like their kneecaps are like pulling up and back a little bit. And then we're going to think about aligning the thighs like we're tightening them and pulling them in toward the hip. It creates this little bit of outer rotation in the leg, like this. And then we're going to sit up again, nice and straight. So we have all of the legs engaged. We have the muscles up the back engaged. Shoulders are tucked down real nice. And with our next inhale, we're going to take the arms, palms forward, or palms toward each other, and up above the head. So now we have this V in the back. We're keeping those shoulders down. We're reaching up towards the sky, and we have the arms engaged. So you can see how we have a lot of muscles engaged in working in the seated pose, but we're going to find our ease here. Now, one thing you can do if you're struggling with the legs to get that kind of rotation going with the knees is to take a block and put it between the thighs, and when you squeeze toward it, you're going to kind of get that same rotation. And if it's a little uncomfortable to get your feet, you can take a strap and you can wrap it around the feet. And again, we're not pulling or doing anything harsh. We're just gently adjusting. And you could use your staff pose, a supported staff pose, just like this. Again, shoulders down. We got lots of room in the rib cage. So that's the 2 versions of the main pose that I have for you, both full pose and supported. So let's look at our mat support today. So today, because we're talking about empowering our authentic self, our authentic being, I went for orange essential oil, which I have in my diffuser today because I just wanted to fill the room. Orange uplifts the mood, and that really helps to empower you. It works with our self-worth and our solar plexus here. Which is one of our chakras that I've been talking about. And I also picked citrine. Also because it connects to that solar plexus, but it is a great stone for empowerment, like that we're working on today. So before we get to working with it, I do want you to take your citrine, if you're going to use that, or another orange stone, even one that you could possibly, like I said, just paint a regular stone. And I want you to put it right on the mat because we're going to use it in our restorative pose if you choose to. Okay, so the first restorative pose is called legs up a wall. And so basically when we're going towards the wall, I like to, in any restorative pose, take a blanket, and I'm going to take it out a little bit longer today so that I have it to support my back and my head when I'm in this pose. And if it's uncomfortable once you get down there and you want another one to kind of support the neck, you might want to have one rolled up a little bit right here. So when we do legs up a wall, we're going to sit again right against the wall with our head, and then we're just going to kind of roll so that the legs go up the wall and the head goes right here. Now we're in a restorative pose, so we're not going to worry about flexing the feet. They're kind of flexed anyway, just being here. But what I like to do is, for a moment, find the full pose. So we're flexing the feet, and I'm going to put the arms straight like this. You can even take them out to the back if you want in the full pose, and kind of engage some of the muscles, and then relax and fall into that restorative pose. Arms out to the side, or maybe right down to your sides, whatever's comfortable. But at this point, we had our palms facing each other. We want them to remain open and up towards the ceiling. So this is the first one. Now for the second one, I'm going to just let my blanket stay right here, because again, I want to use it for my back. But I'm going to move it because I'm going to show you what you can do if you're on a bed, or even if you want to do it here on the floor this way, or even on a couch. So for this one, we're going to build a little bridge with our blocks. I'm going to put them up. You can see like they're flat. We're going to put them up to the side, to the second height, and we're going to put them about hip width apart for ourselves and put the bolster over. And then what you're going to do is just come up and let the legs come over it, and then we're going to just come down straight. So again, you can do the same thing with the arms. I can't do it because I have the wall here, but you're going to take the arms up and then let them fall open and out. And this is the other version of the restorative pose. So I want you to pick which one you want to do today. And then I'm going to take you through basically some truths about yourself. So again, whichever pose you're in, make sure your citrine is really close to you for use. I'm going to take you through some truths. First, some mantras. And when I do that, I'm going to kind of pause a little bit. I want you to either repeat them in your head, repeat them out loud is even better, or, just kind of listen and take the moment to let it sink in when I pause. And then after I go through the mantras, I'll take you through a little mini meditation, and then again, back through the mantras. So here we go. And remember, we're looking at aligning with our authentic self and standing in our own power when we do this. I will not be censored, punished, or demonized for my thoughts. I will not apologize for who I am or who I want to be. I am safe. I question everything and follow my own counsel. Even when I'm a hot mess, I am whole and perfectly imperfect. I am worthy of love. I am strong. I am worthy of being both seen and heard. The greatest story never told is mine. I am ready. It is time. From here, we're going to start to ground into the earth. I want you to feel roots growing from where your body connects to the mat or to the floor. Let them grow. Let them travel. They're grounding you, enriching you as they go down into the soil. And through them, I want you to release all the negative emotions stored within you. Think about the criticism of others, voiced or imagined. And let that dark energy kind of well up in you. Please don't be afraid of it. We are going to let it go. So let it come. Think about criticism. Think about something that you wanted to do that you didn't. Something you wanted to say that you kept quiet. And let that dark energy, those negative emotions of fear of criticism or actual criticism boil up within us. And we are going to let them go. We're going to rush down through those roots that we have in the earth. Just let them come up and release. Come up and release. Come up and release. Give it to the earth. Mother Earth is happy to take these emotions. She is happy to both let you release, to absorb the negative emotions and nourish you, coming up through the roots and taking where you got rid of them and nourishing you with grounding energy. Now, if you use the citrine crystal, please place it on your solar plexus. It's right at the bottom of the heart on the rib cage where you would place your stone when you're laying down. And if you're not using the citrine crystal, then just place your hands there, taking attention to where the seat of our self-worth is. And we're going to fill ourselves with love. We just release these negative emotions. So I want you to repeat the phrase, I am worthy of love. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of love. And now imagine a white light is coming from up above you. And it's growing bigger and bigger, and it surrounds your body. It just floats down over you, this pure energy from the universe. And it infuses and surrounds you with love. Your whole body is glowing and warm, connected with everything and everyone. On a spiritual level, you've got roots in the earth. You've got this energy coming down from above. And it's time to repeat the mantras. I will not be censored, punished, or demonized for my thoughts. I will not apologize for who I am or who I want to be. I am safe. I question everything and follow my own counsel. Even when I'm a hot mess, I am whole, perfectly imperfect. I am worthy of love. I am strong. I am worthy of being both seen and heard. The greatest story never told is mine. I am ready. It is time. Now, what I'd like to challenge you to do is to journal about what came up during this experience. What pushback did you get from your inner self-criticism person in your head? What negative thoughts did you release? Did this feel hard and unnatural, or did it feel amazing? It's okay either way, because you can practice it again and again and again. This is something that's just not kind of a one and done. We need to keep standing in our power and use these mantras. And maybe there's one of these mantras that really touched you, and you want to keep using it throughout your week. So for the journal challenge, I want you to meet yourself as you would meet a friend. So ask yourself any of these questions. Start with your appearance. Sorry, my voice. Think about your hair. That's a great example. Is your hair the color you want it to be? Is it cut the way you want it to be? And if you did color it that color or cut it that way, do you not do it because you think other people will say something, will judge you for it? What about your appearance? I'm really bad with this with my clothes. There's always a way I've wanted to dress and to be, and I'm working into it slowly because I fear what other people will say or think about me. And I need to let that go and just dress like I want to. I just need to wear the clothes that I need to wear. So that's another great example that you could think of or journal about. So move on to your job or your hobbies or anything else out there that you really want to do but you hold back because you worry about the criticism. You worry about the judgment. Maybe you even worry about your own self-judgment of yourself if you would do something like that. We need to let all that go. What would you say? This is a really important one. If nobody could judge you, if nobody would, or if we let go of the fear of being judged or being criticized, what would you voice? What would you say? What story of yours would you tell? These are all great journaling exercises to do after this. And I would really encourage you, after you do these journaling exercises, to come back and to pick one of these restorative poses, find the mantras, and find the meditation. So I'm going to put the mantras and both the journal challenge in the description of this video so that you have really easy access to them. If you want to just do the journal challenges and then maybe you do the mantras before and after you do your journaling time. So that's all I have for you today. I did want to point out that if you notice this beautiful shirt that I'm wearing, so there's a yoga pose. The wheel pose is actually what the yoga person is doing. I got the sun and the moon phases here, and just breathe written on it. So Ashley at Glitter and Bold Boutique made this especially for me, and I just love it. So I'm also putting in the video description the link. She has this really amazing Facebook page where she just puts out all of these designs, and if you like them, you can change the color or this or that. She does special orders and all this stuff. She's so easy and wonderful to work with. So I just kind of wanted to point out my beautiful shirt. I hope you noticed it. And I just want to thank Ashley for making it for me, because I was looking at shirts and not quite getting the one that I wanted, and so I asked her to make this one for me specifically. So I want to thank you for your time today. Thank you for being here with me. Namaste.